Hi YouTube!
Okay, starting this video. Hello guys, my name's Roxy. You probably know that if you go to my school or if you actually seen my other two videos and just watch them on your own time. But my name's Roxy. I'm 15 years old and this video is going to be about, I guess, a little bit about who I am and who I'm trying to become. My other two videos are just like silly joking around. One of them is eating Taco Bell with my boyfriend because we love Taco Bell, and the other one's a silly little vlog about the power being out, which is only really out for 30 minutes. Yeah, but this video is gonna be, well, you've already seen the beginning part, and it's called like Freedom Weekend Recap 2025, and you're probably wondering like, what is Freedom Weekend? And Freedom Weekend is just an opportunity for 7th through 12th graders to, I guess, like grow closer to God and learn more about God and who He is, and like surrendering their lives to Him and like, you know, living for the Word of God. But I'm just gonna talk about what I learned during my Freedom Weekend experience and how I'm applying those, like everything I learned, those like traits and stuff, to my daily life, and just kind of recapping everything for you guys so you guys can learn everything I learned and just learn to like put it in your life. Because I feel like for our, like, people our age and just like 15, 16, 17, or even like 13, like really any age, honestly, like I feel like it's so important to know who God is and just to start living for His word and just truly just surrendering your life to God. Okay, so it's kind of quite windy out here, but I just feel like it'd be much better to film outside than in my crusty room because it's kind of messy right now. But I have my journal and my Bible and my Chromebook because I was working in class, like key details I want to say and mention, and I also have everything I wrote down in my journal about Freedom Weekend just to share it, and some scripture I want to recite. So during my time at Freedom Weekend, we had a speaker come and share the gospel. His name was Mark Hutchinson. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I'm so sorry. But I put some links like his Instagram and stuff so you guys can like see a little bit about who he is. But he was such an incredible speaker, and he just shared a lot of really eye-opening experiences, and I'm just so incredibly thankful that I got to be there, because truly everything he said, it sat so well with me and so deep with me that it truly changed my life. Let's see. He told us that our calling and our purpose was to love God, know God, and to fully surrender to God. Because when we surrender our lives to God, He gives us the beautiful, beautiful gift of eternal life. And I feel like for a lot of people my age, it's really hard to grasp the concept that there is a life after the life we live. Because you don't really, I feel like, well, for me, I didn't want to think about that for the longest time, because I think there's so many things in your life that will change when you start. Sorry, that's my dog. Come here. Grab him. There's so many things that our like life will change, and that are just so many things we will give up when we start living for the Word of God. And I think that's why a lot of people put off surrendering their life to God, because you don't want to give up those things you desire, because honestly, just saying it's something that is satisfaction for you, and giving up those things is changing your life, truly changing your whole life. And for me, those things were gossiping. I feel like a lot of girls and boys of younger age is gossiping, and that is like hard to give up, and it's something that I'm gonna struggle with probably for the rest of my life. But I think what's important is knowing that that's wrong and reflecting on it and just obeying God and just walking away from situations when you know you are able to walk away, and just knowing from what's right and wrong. But I kind of got off track there, but I feel like a lot of times people my age put off surrendering their life to God because they don't want to give up things that they would give up. And I'm kind of wording a little bit wrong, but you probably understand what I'm trying to say. Something I want to share from my Bible is Matthew chapter 7 verse 22. It says, "The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. So if the light within you is darkness, how deep is that darkness?" I feel like that is truly something that everyone needs to hear, because we put so many negative things in our mind, and just we see so many negative things too. And if that's all we're seeing, that's all we're gonna get out of it. It's just negative things, and that's just so like, it's just so mind-boggling that that's literally in the Bible. Because whenever you are sad and you go to Instagram Reels or like TikTok, for instance, and you see sad videos, all you're gonna feel is sad. But what you need to do in a moment that you are needing comfort is pray. Pray to God, surrender to God, give him everything you have to say and more, because he's gonna be the one to help you when you are needing help. Matthew chapter 6 verse 21 says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And our speaker, Mark, he shared this with us, and he shared this to say that whatever has our attention and whatever has our affection will direct the course of our lives. And when he said that, I was really like, you're so right. And it's kind of like the verse I just shared like early before this one. It's just because we all have something that we know is sin and that we know disobey God, but we already do it, and we already know that God's going to forgive us later on, because that's who God is. He's a forgiving God. But why do we still continue to disobey? That's why. We know he's going to forgive, but is that why we disobey? Because we know he's going to forgive? Because I feel like for me, that's what I was doing. I was sinning again and again because I know he's going to forgive tomorrow. I know he's going to forgive tonight. I know he's going to forgive after I commit the sin. But why am I doing that? Why am I truly doing that? That's not the way I want to live. And that's when he said that during Freedom Weekend, that truly was like, this is not the person I want to be, and this is not the person I want to show my little brother and little sister how to be. This is not the person I want my friends to see like who I am. A main point that stood out to me in Freedom Weekend is the traps in our lives, and we talked about that, and we went a little bit more into depth about that. But let me find it in my journal. The traps in our lives are thrills. Okay, I'll have it right here. So the traps in our lives. The traps stand for thrills, relationships, approval, pride, and secrets. And while thrills can lead to momentary pleasure, it can lead to long-lasting effects. And so whatever you think is exciting in the moment and exhilarating is not right. Because what's more exhilarating than God? What is more exhilarating than living for God and feeling his presence every day? I literally think nothing. So I feel like one of the traps that I truly, and I feel like a lot of people my age are gonna be able to agree with, is approval. Because you want people to like you, especially at such a young age, or not really young age, but at such a teenager age. You want people to, like your Instagram posts. You want people to comment on your TikToks. You want people to want to like you. You want other people to talk about you, but not bad, but good. You want that. You want that approval. And that's something that I want still. That's something that, I struggle with deeply. I don't want people to think badly of me. Like, who wants that? But that's also not right. That's not right. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10 says, "Am I now trying to pursue people or God?" And that's so mind-boggling too, that's literally in the Bible, because we don't need approval from anyone else but God. Nobody's opinion matters more than God. And that's literally word for word the truth. Because whenever you die and go to heaven, you're talking to God. You're getting there with God. No one else is going to get you there but God. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to get to say is just, I want my friends and those around me who don't know God to surrender their lives to God, because I want to see them in heaven when I go to heaven. And I pray and I hope that I do everything right, or not necessarily, I don't want to say that. I pray and I hope that I just keep on living my life the way I'm living now and surrendering my life to God, that I'm able to make it to heaven. And I want that to be like that for my family, my friends, my dog. I pray for that. During session 3, which was our last session at Freedom Weekend, our speaker asked, what is the thing that inside of us keeping us from the life God has for us? And he also said we need to let go of the things keeping us from God. So kind of like what I said, but more of a we are going to and we need to. He also put a list of things on the screen of just so many things that we need to surrender. So I'm just gonna list them here. Just list them all here. It's lots and lots and lots. There are a lot of things people struggle with that I don't know. they probably are still trying to understand that, yeah, I struggle with that, and yeah, I need to surrender that to God. And I think that's also why I find it so important to have people in your life, mentors in your life, that can guide you a nice and loving relationship with God. And I have those amazing people in my life, and I'm so incredibly blessed and thankful that I get to experience those people. And I also believe that's why I think it's important to find a good church and a good community. Down in the description, I'll put a church finder location thing, and just you put in your zip code or like the city you live in, and you can find a church near you that can locate one so you can start going. Because I love my church. I love my church. I love the people in my church, my youth group leaders, my youth pastors, and I'm so incredibly blessed to have them in my life. Because I know that if anything ever goes wrong, or if I'm just feeling so much doubt in myself or so much doubt in my faith, that they will be there right next to me, and they will be there to give me a hand and just like lead me the right way. And I'm just so incredibly blessed that I have that in my life. A big life-changing moment for me at Freedom Weekend was he gave us these note cards, and it was just a little white note card and a pen, and he said, write the things you need to surrender. And obviously you can put anything you want to on there, it's just like things that you need to surrender, but I put things that I was truly struggling with in the moment, and that I'm still like dealing with and still finding how to deal with those things today. But I went down to the altar and I get on my knees, and it wasn't even that I started thinking of those things that I was dealing with. It's literally that as soon as my knees hit the ground, I started crying. And it wasn't just tears of like, oh my gosh, like all this is going into my life. It's more like it was such a vulnerable moment and such an intentional moment with the Lord that I felt his presence. I genuinely felt his presence. And I got baptized last April, and still living a life of sin even after getting baptized made me just feel so ashamed of myself, because how can I get baptized and still live in sin? That was just like, why? And then I remember I'm down at the altar, and the speaker was like saying like, if you want to give your life to Jesus, if you don't know Jesus, make your way to the back. And I was like, shoot, I already gave my life to Jesus. I know Jesus, but I'm still doing all these things I fall into sin. And the next thing he said after that, then literally the next thing he said after that was, if you've already surrendered your life to God and you're still living in sin, you can also make your way back to the room if you want to talk about it. And I immediately get up. I get up and I go to the back of the room, and I find my youth group leader, and she finds me and we talk, and she just lets me know that that was my walk. That's my walk with God. Like, I'm gonna have struggle, I'm gonna sin, but that's just the enemy. He was just trying to tell me that I wasn't good enough for God in the life that God has for me. And that just really like opened my mind, because I was like, you're right. Because when I did give my life to God, and when I did surrender my life to God, and when I got saved, I did feel truly saved. I wasn't doubting myself, I did feel truly saved. And so now that just cleared up so much things for me, because that just truly made me like realize like I am saved, and I am just pursuing my faith with God. And there is going to be bad moments, and there is going to be times when I'm in doubt, but I have others around me. I have God to rely on, and I have my awesome mentors that they're going to give me a hand when I need it. And I'm just so incredibly thankful for that, and so incredibly thankful for all that Freedom Weekend opened up to me. And I know I kind of was all over the place with everything I said. It's just kind of here and there and splotches everywhere. But I just hope that what I said is reaching you in the right way, and just following, like, it's just falling in your heart in the right place. And if I said something that was misread or misinterpreted, I'm sorry. Like, this is also like me walking with my faith in God, and just trying to do as much as I can to just share the gospel. And I really felt this like video like calling me. Like, I've never felt a video like this ever. You see my YouTube videos, they're literally like, they're CapCut edits. Like, what is that? So like when I literally, my dog just left, when I felt this like random calling, like, you have to make this video, I was like, I will, God. And I just hope it meets the right crowd, and that this video just reaches them. There's not more I can say. I pray that it meets the right crowd, and that what I say does sit in your heart very well. Bye, YouTube.